This is Elder Mmoja, Ajabu, your host for Ajabu Speaks. This program today is going to be a dual purpose because we're going to do a political education for the Black Panther movement. And so we're going to still be unbossed, and unafraid of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the butt naked truth. So, you ready? I was on a radio program with the Honorable Malik Zulu Shabazz, and it was Carl Nelson's program. And on that program, we got into a discussion about what would it take for us as a people to wake up and understand that there is an existential threat that's coming at us on a regular basis, and we don't act like that. We need to get organized to make sure that we would repel that threat. And in that conversation, he referred to Professor Small, Professor James Small. And you got to know who Professor James Small is. Professor James Small is the brother that took over the Muslim Mosque Incorporated from Malcolm X when he passed on. He was stirring in that company. It's a good chance that he had face-to-face conversations with El Hajj Malik El Shabazz. And Carl was asking him, from what he shared with us, that Professor James Small, what do you think that is going to take for us to wake up and understand that we got a threat that's trying to wipe us off the face of the earth and make us no longer exist? He said, he asked me, brother, what would it take? And Professor James Small said, responded that it was going to take a tragedy. When I listen to that, I say, I hope not. But the evidence points to what he's saying as him being inaccurate. I mean, but you know, I got an experience where there's a caveat to that. But if you look at what he's saying, we have taken a lot. These people have done a lot to us, and we haven't responded. I mean, you even got the lieutenant governor here in Indiana who is supporting a bill that says that the amendment to the Constitution that made us 3/5 of a human, that's a good amendment. He's saying that was a positive move when the North agreed to allow the South to, when you're talking about the consensus and talking about how much representation you're going to get into the government, he thought that it was a good thing that they allowed the South to count 5 of us, 5 Africans, as 3 white folks. He's saying that he thinks and he supports that us being looked at something less than human it's okay. That gives you a window into the thinking of the people that are in the seats of power. And not only is he doing that here in Indiana, but it's on the federal level too. It's on the world level. The people that are in the seats of power here in Indiana and elsewhere as being less than human. And psychologically, if someone looks at you as being less than human, they won't treat you like a human, or they won't treat you humanely, because in their eyes, you're not a man nor a woman. You're something less than that. You're less than human. And these people are making moves. It's a threat to our very survival. So Professor Smiles saying that in order for us to wake up to that, there's going to have to be something tragic to happen. God bless. I mean, how much more tragic does it have to get? Because we done went through some tragedies. How much tragic does it have to get? I mean, they done took one of us. And you know, if they take one of us, if they touch one of us, they done touched all of us. But they took one of us. Our brother Floyd put the knee on his neck, choked him for more than 9 minutes till dead. And we didn't. I mean, we moved a little bit, but we didn't move to the degree that we stopped that kind of behavior, because it's still going on. If we'd have stopped it there, then we wouldn't have had Ryan Hinton being shot down by the police there in Cincinnati, Ohio. And if he hadn't got shot down by the police in Cincinnati, Ohio, then his daddy wouldn't have said, look, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. If we'd have stopped it, the daddy, Rodney, wouldn't have, after he looked at the film, the body camera, he wouldn't have had to go over there and felt it necessary to run over a Cincinnati police officer. If we'd have stopped it, but that was not tragic enough. Professor Small is something is going to have to happen that's tragic, to where it's that we wake up to that, and I'm looking at that tragedy, and it didn't wake us up. It don't look like what he's saying. If it's true, then there's going to have to be something more tragic than that. I mean, right there in Ohio, they took a 12-year-old boy, had a toy gun, jumped out of the car and shot him down. A 12-year-old boy, a boy of African descent, of African heritage, an African, playing with a toy gun. White folks call the police. The police respond and shoot him down in the park. How much more tragedy is it going to take? What is it going to take? And Professor Small says it's going to take a tragedy. And with that happening, and the evidence is pointing to that what he is saying is true, because how much more tragedy? I mean, does it have to be a massacre? What's a massacre? The dictionary says a massacre is when people are killed, defenseless people are killed and brutally murdered. Is that what's going to take? Well, let me put your boots on. That's already happened to us. I got information right here that at least 24 points in history, these white folks have massacred us. I mean, massive. Massacre typically implies a brutal or indiscriminate killing of defenseless or unresisting victims. We were defenseless, we wasn't resisting, and they said we just need to kill us a bunch of them. Is it going to take something more tragic than that? And they done that because of the thinking. They didn't look at us as being human. That's 3/5 of a man, or that's 3/5 of a woman. May not even be that. I like my dog better than I like them. I'll treat my dog better than I'll treat an African. That white boy has said regularly that a dog is his best friend. He like a dog better than he like us. And treats that dog better than he treats us. What is it going to take? That is the question that is on the floor today. What is it going to take? I would want to take a little bit of issue, even though the facts look like what Professor Smalls is saying is accurate, on point. But I have a different experience where it didn't take something tragic to wake us up to respond that we was in an existential threat. And it didn't take a tragedy. It didn't take a massacre of us to say, oh boy, we need to stop that. We need to get together and stop that. It didn't, and I mean, some of us were getting killed because we was in war in Vietnam. And we didn't understand what we were doing. I was a 19-year-old kid in Vietnam fighting America's war, and on the way over there, they killed Martin Luther King. On the way out, they killed Fred Hampton. And there's no telling how many was killed in between that I didn't know about, that didn't make the papers because they were killing people. Us. In the name of the law. In the name of the government. What would it take? And see, it took not something physical, it took something psychological. Because the Vietnamese, the North Vietnamese, the big kind of, they had all hands on deck because the United States had invaded their country, and they said that every man, woman, and child has got to resist this, and they did. I'm telling you about Saigon Mary, but I can also tell you about a little, had to be about 10-year-old boy that came and put a satchel charge up under my truck, and I'm hauling 5,000 gallons of gasoline, and he done put this charge up under the truck to say, look, I don't want you to get the gasoline to the infantry so that they can run them tanks and things, and because you trying to get it to them, I'll blow that thing up. And I jumped out of my vehicle because I saw him in my West Coast mirror. I jumped out and threw the daggone thing, pulled it off bottom of the truck and threw it into a puddle, and it fizzled, and shoot, I got away. Put some distance in between me and that. All hands were on deck. And that's when we got to do. And I'm saying that they done that, the Vietnamese done that and turned us around. They used the little kid like that. And then they used the female, Saigon Mary, to bring a message. On the anniversary of Martin Luther King's death in Memphis, April the 4th, 1968, he died. April the 4th, 1969, in Vietnam, Saigon Mary posed the questions and done it for that symbolism so that we understood what it was that they were saying. So we could not help but to understand what she said. She on the 1 year anniversary of Martin Luther King's assassination by a racist white man in Memphis, Tennessee, she asked us, black men, why are you over here fighting for America? And America is fighting you. Why are you over here fighting us? Why are you over here in Vietnam fighting us? Why are you over here in Vietnam fighting the Vietnamese, and the people that you fighting for is killing the people that's fighting for you so that you can be looked at as something, a full man. You don't be looked at as three. In the world are you over here fighting us and they treating you like that? The tragedy wasn't that we experienced a massacre to change our thinking. The tragedy was we listened to what she said and then said to ourselves, well, she's making all the sense in the world. Why would we do that? Who in their right mind would do something like that? Boy, what are you thinking? And at that point, it wasn't individual, it was mass. All of us started to question, brother, what are you doing? And when we understood and knew that we shouldn't have been doing what we were doing, and that was fighting America's war, fighting the Vietnamese for America, fighting the Vietnamese for a country that was fighting us, fighting the Vietnamese for a country that then killed Malcolm, killed Fred, already took killed Martin, already took Malcolm down. Nah, we ain't doing that no more. And we quit. And that was in April. In June, the United States Army decided to pull up out of there. So I'm going back to what will it take? I'm saying, Professor Small, if I look at that history right there, we can make our people act right if we get them to thinking right. That's calling Muhammad there. If you think right, you'll act right. And ain't no sense in you thinking that if these people don't treat you right, that if they don't treat you right, that they'll teach you right. No, the responsibility for the education of our people is ours. And this is the reason why the Black Panther movement has set up this educational class under the vision of the Honorable Malik Zulu Shabazz. You got to understand that we ain't playing. We understand that we're promoting the narrative to where that we're trying to shake you. We don't want to physically shake you. We want to shake you mentally. What are you thinking that you're trying to make a life with some people who's trying to wipe you off the face of the earth on some land that they done stole from some people and wipe them out? better than what they would treat you. They go to treat us worse. They're treating us worse, and they're getting in the position to do that because they want to make America great again. And if they make America great again, that's at our expense. I'm telling you, fuck dog. That's what I'm saying. Now, some people don't like me to use buck duck. They think that I don't know. I don't know if they think that I'm disrespecting him, but I'm not respecting him. I don't respect that man that wants to behave like he's behaving for it. Why would I respect somebody like that? Why would I give them respect? And they're treating us like that. No, buck duck. That's what I say. Look like a duck, walk like a duck, always quacking like a duck. You got D-Duck, O'Donnell. Buck duck. No. You know, they don't like that language. And you know, ain't nobody gonna tell me what I can say. I'm gonna say what I got to say. And we're gonna put it out there. And you know, don't Trump. How about that? We ain't got no business trying to stay in this country and it's treating us the way that it is treating us. And again, I go back to the Super Bowl. I know that was the message that Alexander Lamar and them were giving that. Look, we can be in this oppressive situation and we know how to make some money. I understand that. And I ain't mad that you do that. But I am saying that we need to wake up to that. And it looks like it's happening. Because the same kind of awakening that we need here in America has already happened in the Sahel. Let me get my map. In the Sahel down here. Now you're on the radio, y'all gonna have to go get the video because I got a map here and I'm showing people where Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso are together. That's Burkina Faso, that's Mali, and that's Niger. And they are saying that, look, we don't woke up. We ain't gonna let y'all keep treating us like that. And they don't woke up and say, look, we not only don't woke up, look, if they treating you like they treating you in the United States, don't worry about it. Come on over here with us. We got a place for you. And not only do we have a place for you, we got things for you to do. We got gold, diamond, oil, and we don't know how to get it. The average schooling of the brothers and sisters in Burkina Faso is about the third grade. They don't know how to go over there. When you look at the people that are the most educated in this world that are Africans, you're looking at the black man and woman here in America. We can take our expertise, go to Burkina Faso, and the brother says, shit, all you got to get here. If you come to Burkina Faso, if you get here and you want citizenship, you can get it. You don't have to worry about how these people are treated over here. You know, come over here, help us to exploit our resources for our benefit, and you can get some. Are y'all listening to me? Let's not have to experience another massacre when we done 24. As Professor Smalls is saying, it's going to happen or going to happen for us to wake up. Let's wake up before then. Let's change our thinking before then. Let's not have to have something that takes a bunch of us off the face of the earth to be the necessity to happen for us to change our thinking. Now, it's no time to celebrate. It's time to separate and hibernate and pray to overhear, whereas the brothers are saying, come on, we got you. You've been listening to Elder Mmoja Ajabu. You can catch me live every Saturday. If you're in Indianapolis, I'm on the FM dial, 91.9 FM. If you're anywhere else in the world, you can catch us streaming live at www.919witt.org. I said anywhere else in the world, you can catch us live streaming at www.919witt.org. Every Friday, and I got more to say because this radio program is 30 minutes, but I got more to say to you. Don't go nowhere. This class is going to continue because there's some things that we need to talk about, and especially that situation that is going on in Cincinnati. But I got to close this side of things out so that I can talk to you a little more in depth about what is going on. Hear the message of this 30-minute spot. Hear the message. What is it going to take? That's what we got to talk about. What is it going to take? That is what we got to determine. What is it going to take? And we need to determine that it needs to take something prior to the tragedy that Professor Small thinks is going to be necessary for us to change that thing. Let's not do that. Let's learn a lesson from the Vietnamese. Let's wage a psychological warfare to where that all of us understand that we tired and we tired of being sick and tired. And we start making our brothers and sisters' problems our problems, and we start organizing it, solving together. We organize. Pan-Africans are organizing all over the world because we see the necessity of not looking at things from the citizenship that has been granted to us by the people that have enslaved us. That will make you think in ways that are against you. Now, the basis or the point of departure of our thinking is from where we are, or where we came from. Not where they stole us and brought us to. No, where we came from. And we came from Africa. And we're Pan-Africans. We think about the things that are best for Africans, not an American. If you think about things that are best for Americans, then you are going to say it was all right as an American for them to treat the Africans that was in America, to treat them less than human. It was all right for them to count 5 human beings, African human beings, to equal 3 white human beings, because that's the American way. Fuck that! We ain't going with that. I'm lost and unafraid of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but naked truth. We're going to Cincinnati, and I'm gonna talk to you more about that on the live. We're going to Cincinnati. Monday, we're gonna be there cutting up. You should be there. If you in Ohio, you should be there. We're looking for you. I'm boss and unafraid. You ready? And Professor Smalls is saying it's going to happen. It's going to have to happen. Boy, that's what we're looking for. And Professor Smalls is saying it's going to happen. Are we still live? Me too. That's what we're looking for. And Professor Smalls is saying it's going to happen. Are we still live? Me too. Are we still live?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We live.
Okay. I want to go further.
You're getting some feedback though.
Okay. It might be from this mic. Is that better? Is that better? Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. I want to talk further about this situation in Cincinnati and the Black Panther movement under the visionary leadership of the Honorable Malik Zulu Shabazz. We're going to be mobilizing to Cincinnati, and y'all know the situation there. If you don't, let me put your boots on. There was a young brother, years old, been calling his brother in the house to let him in because he didn't stay out longer, evidently, than what he was supposed to. And when he came to the house was locked. And I don't know this, but I would guess that he'd been told that he had a certain time to get into the house and didn't get up in there. And so they locked the door. And so he was trying to get his brother to open the door. And his brother didn't open the door because he did not want to handle the heat that would come with him opening that door. And so he didn't open it. And because he didn't open it, the police somehow got information that the car that he was in was stolen. And now even there's discrepancy about that. Say that the car, they hadn't paid the payment on the car. And so the car wasn't stolen, it just wasn't paid for. But the people that the money was owed to put out an APB saying that it was stolen because they wanted the police to confiscate the car. But whatever the situation is, the story that the police is telling is that the car was stolen. And so they pulled up on the car, and there's 4 youngsters in the car. Ryan, Colin, Hinton being one, and he gets out of the car, runs. They say he got a weapon, but you never see him shooting at the weapon or shooting the weapon. But he comes around a dumpster, and the police gun him down. When his father viewed the body camera footage of them shooting his son down, he left the meeting, and on the next day he went out and ran over a police officer and killed him. And I can see, you can see how you look at your child. See, when you're talking about Rodney Hinton, we know what it took for him to respond in the way that he responded, because when he shot down by the police, he says, well, shoot, I may not be able to get that one, but I can get one because they doing it all over the country, but I'm not going to let them do it to mine. I'm going to let them know that mine is worth something. If you take one of mine, I'll take one of yours. And I say that the brother was remiss because his son's life was worth more than one of theirs. I'm unbothered. Yeah, that 18-year-old African child who was the son of Rodney Hinton, whose name was Ryan Hinton, that boy, that child, that 18-year-old youth, life was more important, more valuable than one police officer. Needed to get at least 3. If it takes 5 of them, we'll go with 3. If you can get more, go on and handle it. That'll stop it. Because we didn't have to get any of them in Vietnam. You don't come through here. We ain't having it. And then we get organized, they can't beat us. They can't beat us. With the heart that we got, and then we get the training and the weapons. That's the only reason why they beat us. But they didn't beat us because they had more heart. They beat us because they had better weapons. Well, now we know how to get the weapons that they got, and we know how to use them. There's 2.5 million black vets, African vets, right now in America. America ain't got but just under 2 million active troops in its military. 2.5 African vets, 2.5 million African vets throwing down on them Rudy Poo people that they got up in the military. Well, we'll take them out in a hurry. Now, there will be some cost, but that's the price of freedom. And see, shoot, we dying anyway. They're killing us anyhow. We might as well get some losses on the other side. And that's what Rodney Hinton has done. He said, no, if there's casualties on our side, then there's going to be casualties on your side. And when more of us start thinking like that, then this stuff will stop. We'll stop being tired of being sick and tired. Because I'm tired of being sick and tired. Who was that said that? Fannie Lou Hamer? I'm tired of being sick and tired. Aren't you? So we organized and we mobilized. And Monday, Rodney, who the police and the system is trying to make him a pariah. No, he's not a pariah. No, he's not. And see, now I'm gonna go call it Muhammad on you when they asked him about Ferguson after he killed those white people in the subway. He said, no, he ain't mad at the brother. He said, I ain't mad at him just like you ain't mad at George Washington. George Washington, who killed a bunch of people, or George Skokov, who was over the Vietnam War. He said, no, I ain't mad at him. Just like you embrace your killers, I embrace mine. I'm telling y'all, I'm bossed. And I know if we wage the right psychological warfare on each other, we're going to start thinking in a way we're gonna think right, and then when we get to thinking right, we're gonna start acting right, and we're gonna stop that. Them killing us down, shooting our children down in the street ain't right. There ain't no sense of us acting like it's right. And I don't care how good a job you got, what kind of position you got. If you're making money in your business, it ain't enough to continue to let that happen. So we're mobilizing, and we're going to be in Cincinnati. The hearing, we're asking everybody to gather at 9 a.m. on the courthouse steps in Hamilton County. And I don't have that address right here close to me, but those of you that live in Cincinnati and those that don't, you can Google it. You know where it's at. Probably most of you been down there. If not for yourself, for you. Let's go down there and stand together and say, look, we understand why Rodney Hinton Jr. did what he did. We understand it. And you better understand that you're going to get some more of it if you keep behaving like you're behaving. Because we're sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's time for that stuff to stop. Asking you, if you in Ohio, if you in Indiana, if you're in Illinois, if you're in what's up above that, Pennsylvania, mobilize 9 o'clock on this courthouse steps in Hamilton County, Ohio, which is actually Cincinnati. After we get through there, we're going to have a press conference right there on the steps, 12 noon, and we're going to do an analysis of what happened in that courtroom, and do more political education. Once we do that and make our analysis known to the world, to the press, then we're going to have a town hall meeting. We want to hear from you. How you feeling? Are you feeling the same way we feeling? If you are, and I bet that you are, let's get organized. Let's get mobilized. And let's stop all these lies about us being 3/5 of a human. Fuck that! We're better than that. And we got to demand that people treat us better than that. And I'm telling you, when we demand, we ain't E.F. Hutton, but they listen. Yeah, they listen. Because they don't want us to go off. They know they can't handle that. We get into a trained African man with the same weapon that white boy got. He know he in trouble. And he not only in trouble with heart, he in trouble with numbers. Ain't but 200 million of him. They shoot, in Africa, there's 1.5 billion of us. We can keep coming. He can't stand that. And he knows that. And we got to realize that and accept that and act like that. Man, you better get back. There's a bunch of us. We babies kids. We don't die. We multiply. We don't keep still. We kill. If you keep acting the way that you acting, I'm telling y'all, I'm unbossed, and unafraid of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but naked truth. We've got to come together and organize so that we realize our rightful place in the and so share with you outside of the radio program. Meet us in Cincinnati. All hands on deck. You can catch this political education class every Friday. And see, next week, I'm going to talk about how the attitude of Rodney Hinton lines up with the attitude of Ibrahim Traore, who took over the country in Burkina Faso, and now is telling us that if we want to come through there, right there, if we want to come through there, all we got to do is get there. We can get citizenship. And they got gold, fourth largest gold supply on the African continent. They got diamonds. And now instead of us, those of us that are enterprising in the neighborhood with that poison, shit, we can take that out of their hands and they can become gold dealers and all dealers. And shoot, they do a good thing for them. We can sell some tomatoes. Can you imagine selling 1 million tomatoes and just making $1 off each one? We won't be arguing about how to get some money. We'll be arguing about how to spend some money, because we will be making money because we're being ourselves. Africans. A Pan-African defines him and herself not by where they was born. Malcolm said, shit, if you do that, if you're born in an oven, what you gonna do? Call yourself a biscuit? Nah, we ain't gonna do that. Our identity is not based on where we was born. Our identity is based on where we're from. We're Africans. Unbossed and unafraid. Now, Mintu, is there any comments or anything that I need to respond to? I don't hear you. So
I don't see any yet, brother. I don't see none.
okay,
I'm gonna go back through them to see it again.
Okay, well, check and see if there's anything I need to respond to. And if there's not anything that I need to respond to, then I'm going to invite everybody to come back and see us next Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're going to try to get on our official website page next week, along with this page, so that we can widen our audience. If you have comments, put them in the chat. If there's no comments, you see any?
No comments,
all right,
brother.
We out of here. I just say, blessed are those who struggle, for oppression is worse than the grave. It's much more noble to kill for a cause than to live and die enslaved. Up, you mighty people, accomplish what you will. Black power.